How we doing, all my Dukes and Duchesses? This is Wilhelm Duke, your Swedish-American rapper. We are here with the First Lady of the House of Duke, Candice Alise.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
This is episode 4. We got a lot of topics today. We're going to start off real quick. Stormy Daniels, the new documentary 2024. If you haven't seen the new Stormy Daniels documentary, highly recommend. It'll paint Trump in a vastly different light if you're not already have an opinion, a strong opinion of Trump. Stormy Daniels, the hero that we didn't know that we needed, but definitely a hero in her own right. Candice, any thoughts on Stormy Daniels?
No, I think she's resilient, very resilient. I thought the documentary was just all around amazing. It just really shedded light on who she is as a person, a mother. She's been through some really terrible things, and she's just made it out really. I thought the documentary itself was amazing. Gets to the point. It shows you facts and details behind the scenes of how things went down, basically, and she really showed how badass she is. You know, definitely women know your power. You hold so much power in this realm. Watching that documentary kind of just shedded light on that. Just showed that women hold a lot more power than they think. We can be, people can try to shame us, but I think there's just so many powerful women that just break through that, and it's just like, there's nothing you can do to try to destroy me. So,
yeah. Right on. Well, one of the things that happened in the documentary that was interesting was how, like, the legal team of Trump was trying to screw over Trump at the same time trying to pay Stormy Daniels off. So that was interesting how, like, you know, millions of dollars is being mishandled, and like somebody that high up that makes that much money will try to screw you over as well. It's just, you know, that was really interesting.
I'll bounce off that. It was really interesting that it was his own, like, he was screwing over his own team. Like, he would have one lawyer pay out and say, "Oh, I'm going to pay you back," and never pay him back. Then do it again to the second lawyer. Hey, we're a team. I need you to pay her this sum to, you know, give her some hush money. And he ended up screwing over the second person. So I just thought that was interesting how that. And then even with Stormy Daniels' lawyer, he was a little crooky too. So, yeah, it was just an interesting documentary. Definitely go see it. Check it out.
Right on. Okay, next topic. So we watched the Crow trailer earlier. I know Candice is a fan of Bill Skarsgård, definitely a fan of the Skarsgårds. Wasn't really necessarily a fan of the trailer. I thought it was weird how they basically gave away all of the major plot point kills. Like, for example, one of the main things that happens in the Crow is just the death of Eric Draven and Shelley in their home when they get raided. And they showed that in the trailer, and then they showed all of the major henchmen and thugs of Top Dollar being killed off, like the kill shots. Very explicit. They showed crazy fight scenes that I feel like they gave away all the major fight scenes.
I feel like every film that comes out nowadays, that's how every trailer is. Like, you're going to see the whole film before you see the whole film.
Right. After the end, it felt like we had seen the whole film at the end of the trailer. It was a little overdone. But, you know,
not gonna lie though, I still want to see it because I love me some Bill Skarsgård.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely see the film. Obviously, still a fan of the Brandon Lee Crow. I don't think anything will be able to outshine or outdo the iconic original Crow from '93, '94 with Brandon Lee. But I think someone like Bill Skarsgård will try to do this part in this franchise justice. So that'll be cool. But yeah, definitely check out the Crow trailer. Let us know what you think in the comments. Very, very violent. soundtrack.
They're showing everything,
yeah,
guys.
literally every holes in the
Like,
stomach, like
taking
heads,
whole knives
heads
out of
being
the chest,
yeah,
blowing heads off,
blowing
like,
heads
what
off,
is
heads
this?
being bashed open.
Desensitized much?
They even showed the scene where when they kill Eric, Draven, and Shelly, they suffocate them to death, and they show them both dying in the trailer, which is like a main scene. Like, why would you give away such a main?
I wonder what,
scene or
you know what, it's
aspect?
like, I'm going to show the original trailer of the original Crow, because I don't think they showed everything in that original trailer.
Oh no, it was
So
a
I
very.
want to kind of put both maybe side to side, and let's see what's up.
That trailer is very obscure and I dark, if I can remember, but also the new look of the new Crow is based off one of the comic book series that was released at some point in the 90s. The original comic book series by James O'Barr came out in 1989, and that Crow actually does look like the Brandon Lee Crow of 94. So the original Crow film that was directed by Alex Proyas, they do copy the original source material from 89.
Nothing wrong with some long hair now.
But Bill's Skarsgård
Has
is
short
technically
hair.
also accurate to one of the versions of the Crow
Right,
from the
but it's
comics in
short
the
hair.
90s. But it's different. I'm not necessarily a fan, but we have to see the film, so we don't know yet, right? It also interesting, Jason Momoa in 2019, they were scouting him to do a version of the Crow, so they did some test shots where, he had long hair just like Brandon Lee. He had the same exact face paint. The test shots are a little hard to see, but that Crow film,
mad at it,
that
though.
Crow film could have had potential too. I
Right.
don't know. I do think it's cool to see that FKA Twigs.
I
FKA,
love her.
yeah.
She's dope.
She's playing the
She's
character
dope.
of Shelly.
Yeah.
I just didn't, in the trailer you see her die right away, so
Right.
it's
It's
just like
okay,
that's
well,
kind of
there's
underwhelming.
the movie.
Right. I mean that. Seriously.
Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry.
But also, I think the soundtrack will be interesting. There's a song by Post Malone and Ozzy Osbourne on there, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Action definitely looks insane. Very John Wick-y, right? It looks like John Wick 4 in a Crow film.
It looks good. I definitely go see it.
We're gonna see it.
Yeah.
Just a little skeptical, and that's okay because the
But
impact.
We love our Swedes.
We do love our Swedes,
love
but we
our
love our
Swedes.
Brandon Lee too.
We do love our Brandon Lee. Like that's classic.
And
That's
if you
always
haven't-
going to be a classic. That's why it's like stop remaking movies.
Right.
I think
write some new stuff.
we
Hire some new writers.
We really
write some
need
new
to be
stuff.
able to write some new stuff, guys.
And if you haven't seen the original Crow film from '94, directed by Alex Proyas, go check it out. Brandon Lee plays the Crow, and then you have Michael Wincott playing the villain Top Dollar. And if you're not familiar with Michael Wincott, he's also in Alien 4. Great actor. Plays the villain in Crow. Super dope. So, all right, moving on.
I'm like, which one?
We're going to talk about fake followers. So the industry is rampant with fake followers. Artists in the indie scene pool will buy views, likes, comments, whatever. We're starting to understand just how many accounts of mid-major artists and mid-level entertainers in LA, New York, Chicago, Miami. We're talking verified accounts with anywhere from 10 to 150, 200,000 followers. And these accounts are doing comparable numbers to any of our accounts or spheres, and I find it very interesting. Like, you really don't know. It's really hard to tell the full extent of someone's reach and popularity because all of the stuff is so faked nowadays.
Right.
Literally so many accounts, right? Like entertainers that do hella events and shows in these big cities, and you'll go to their account with 100,000 and sometimes they have a video that can't break 1,000 views.
Right.
So we've always stuck to our guns of build something naturally. Don't buy followers. Don't buy views. Don't buy likes. Don't buy YouTube subs. Don't buy Spotify playlists. Don't buy anything like that. Just build naturally, promote naturally.
And
then it obscures.
It obscures, and you don't know what's the real feedback, what's the real analysis, the metrics back. You want those metrics. And I'm saying this from a person that works in marketing. You need to know what your followers truly want. It only hurts. Plus, what did I like? I had like an epiphany the other day where I'm just like, I guess I was on somebody's account and I'm like, they have 600,000 or 700,000. I don't even remember. It was a lot of followers.
It was just the
But it was
epiphany of
just
just like how much low engagement these other huge followings and accounts have, and then just realizing that like these
how
numbers
algorithms work more.
Well,
so if
and
you have more followers, and this is the epiphany that I had too. And also just being in marketing, you start realizing
just because you have 100,000, 200,000 followers doesn't mean you're going to get any good engagement. All of these huge profiles had such low engagement that it just made you realize that numbers don't matter. Just what is your actual engagement? Are you selling anything? Are you bringing real people to your events or shows? And everything beyond that is just kind of meaningless.
Right. But what I wanted to get at is once I saw that I feel like the more followers you have, what the algorithm does is it has to split what you're posting to certain people. Like, not everybody's going to see your content.
Well, right. I mean, so it only shows it to less than 10%.
Yeah. It's got to be, the percentage has to be so low, the more followers that you have. But I don't know. It's all weird. It's all tricky. But you start to realize, like, how does this guy or how does this woman have 1 million followers, but she's only getting like the same type of engagement I'm getting on my reels and some types. I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Right. So moral of the story, don't buy followers. Just don't do that.
It's not even that. Moral of the story is don't give a shit about likes and followers, because it is meaningless in a world of bots and buys, and and even people in the industry will admit there's fakes to this. Like you can buy, they buy it. Like Travis Scott as an example.
Right, his SoundCloud numbers were faked. His SoundCloud numbers were faked.
So then
that helped boost his popularity on the platform.
Then when you hear Russ, who's talking about, radio, you can just pay that. Just you want to be everywhere, you can just 10,000. I want to
25,000.
25,000
according to Russ in an interview.
What else can I? But you guys know and understand what I'm trying to say. So just don't. It doesn't help. It doesn't matter. Also, we realized too, we made so many videos and they got engagement, but they didn't get.
But they'll get comparable.
They didn't go viral.
But they'll get comparable engagement to accounts that have 100,000. Is kind of the point we're getting at.
Right.
Like,
and even with
what is the point of having such a large following if your small following gets the same numbers on Reels as some of these accounts that have 50, 100, 150, 200?
So just keep pushing. Don't look at the likes. My mom always says, "Don't look at the likes and the follows," and it's true, because it's like, let's be real. My mom has like 300 followers on IG, but homegirl is like 45,000 listeners on Apple Music, okay, with her Plant-Based Curious podcast. Shout out Diane Randall.
Right on.
45,000, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Like, metrics, because you can even look at somebody's Instagram and then you look at their fucking YouTube channel, dead. So it's like, what platform makes you feel validated most, I guess? Because like back then, my platform of choice was MySpace. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, what platform actually converts into sales and real people showing up for your, what platform actually converts into a customer, really is the question we should be
and
asking.
it's going to be different for everybody. So don't sit here and watch one person be like, oh, well, how come, like, and then this is working. It's like, no, because you can be blowing up on this and then not blowing up on something else. So
all right, next topic we got BBLs, yes or no. I'll just start off by saying
with the men. You're the man part and I'm the woman part.
So
like, what do you think men
if the plastic surgery looks okay, it's fine. If it doesn't, it's like obviously, but like I'm never gonna judge a woman, like, yada yada. But I will say
this. He like a big booty though. He like a big booty.
But I'll say this though, if,
he don't mind a BBL.
If you're damaging your body with augmentation, then obviously it's a problem. If you have some sense of health and homeostasis and have it under control, like, all the more power to you. Do whatever you want. But this whole trend of like these women getting crazy amounts of BBL injections or whatever, and then like their booty's like falling around or moving around, or it's flat, or like literally the silicone is coming undone, and And there's health issues with this stuff. You know
That's
what I mean? It's like not
that's
healthy
my
for you
main
to have that
thing.
in your
That's
to have
my
that in your
main
butt.
thing.
You know,
Ladies,
but,
this is like not safe.
Yeah.
Like this is like not safe. Plus, it's like statistically, men do not like a BBL. You know, they don't really. They like natural.
According to these bro statistics online,
They
like
like
Barstool
natural, but I think
Barstool
men
Sports.
like '90s girls, if that makes sense. Like they like the
natural
Nia
beauty.
Longs, the Aaliyahs. They rather have that than caked up BBLs and fake everywhere. Like I think deep down, men just like an Aaliyah. You know.
No doubt,
Love
no
her. Rest in peace, girl.
doubt. But yeah, I mean that pretty much covers that, you know. But I mean, body augmentation's a huge thing, not just like
be
BBLs.
safe, ladies, because I know
some
I
people
have friends
pierce their
that have
ears
done,
and pull them apart.
Breast augment. Like I've known women that have gotten their breasts done. I've known women that gotten their boobs done, their nose, their lips. That's fine. Like if that makes you feel good. My main thing is the health, the safety. Know your doctors. We see time and time again that you just really need to know who you're working with and who's going to be safe with your life. And yeah, just make sure you're okay.
Don't go to a third world country just on the whim or
just
whatever
because it's
for
cheaper.
some body augmentation or modification.
Right.
So.
Just be safe. That's all. Just be safe. That's me. That's Auntie coming out. Just be safe, y'all.
All right, moving on. Dan Schneider, Nickelodeon, going down. Barely defending himself. Wow. He's embarrassed. Not really sorry. Watch the interview with what's his face. Can't remember. But Quiet on Set. Haven't seen it yet. We will be seeing it soon.
I saw the last episode because that was the only episode up on my super box.
Oh, right on.
You know.
Well, yeah. Anyways, Dan Schneider, guys, has a lot to answer for. Treated a lot of people poorly. Nickelodeon.
Right.
Some sexual harassment, borderline assault going on. What's going on?
For me, is mind blowing because these are the people we grew up with, y'all. But I had a feeling because I'm like, oh, yeah. Growing up, you were like, oh, some of these scenes, you were like, oh, I'm like, is this okay? All right. But yeah, Drake Bell, he lives or he now lives in Mexico, or he lived in Mexico. Now he's back on that Investigation Discovery documentary series. It's 4 parts. I definitely recommend everybody to go see it. I'm telling you guys, all our favorite childhood stars are coming out talking about this man, Brian Peck. Yeah, it's just so disheartening. It's just like, oh my goodness, predators.
Yeah, if you watch Drake Bell has a new music video where he's got a lot of Latin Hispanic actors in it. One way that he's also been living in Mexico, but it's a really interesting music video that kind of details how he was taken advantage of by Dan Schneider in the industry and why he kind of became who he was, and then he eventually committed some, talking to and grooming. Yeah,
let's not forget
that.
Like that's another thing.
That's very interesting. If it happens to you and then you commit to others that same type of, crime and assault. Yeah, very, very unfortunate. Definitely go watch Quiet on Set.
Well, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. Let's say that it wasn't the same. What Dan Schneider did to him was not what he did to that.
I'm not saying what Drake Bell did is what. Yeah, no, I'm not saying what Drake Bell did was what Dan Schneider did. I just want to clear that up. Yeah. So no, I'm just saying when it happens to you. But yes, Drake Bell did do stuff after Dan Schneider did stuff. So that's just the point.
Right, and I just don't want the media to just be like, oh, now it's all about that. Because you know how the media can like flip stuff. Like how we're still listening to Drake, and Drake we're still listening to Chris Brown, and Chris Brown beat Rihanna's ass. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that's what I mean. Like I don't want us to miss the point. Like he's still fucked up and is
just delve into the information and see what you think about the whole thing. There's
but
a
they
lot
talk
of people,
about Amanda Bynes.
They
talk about Amanda Bynes. They talk about I'm telling you, all those kids from our favorite shows, like all that, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, iCarly, it goes the Amanda Show. It goes all the way back. They talk. A lot of these kids are talking out, so it's like, damn. and nobody was there to save them. It just makes you think about like your kids and like how you want to protect them. And that's
absolutely
just the most important thing, especially like nowadays. Like children need to be protected. Children are not protected enough in our society. I don't know what that is, but we need to protect our children. Like, yeah.
100%. Well, as always, what's going on in Gaza is very disheartening. So if you know any way to support the Palestinian people right now, please go and do that. One account I like to follow on Instagram is called Jewish Voices for Peace. Very interesting account. Jews mobilizing that are anti-Zionist. Very interesting to follow. But anyways.
Just talking about it is going to make me cry. But it's like not only do I want to talk about Gaza because, you know, sometimes I feel like the media tells us what we should constantly be thinking of. We also need to keep in mind, guys, it's not just Gaza that we need to be thinking about. There are people in horrible situations all over this world, and I'm just like Haiti's
right,
one
Haiti,
of them,
Congo,
Sudan,
Yemen,
the list goes on. Syria, like, do we have to keep?
No, we're done.
Venezuela. There's so many places that you're like, damn, Ukraine that just need our prayers,
love and
support. It's just
financial
seeing
aid.
I stay up at night watching these videos of these children that sound like little adults. Trauma in their faces. Like, I'm gonna, like, oh my goodness, like mothers holding their babies. Like, yeah, it's just the saddest
anyways,
thing I've
y'all,
ever seen.
not to bring up a horrible time, but just figure out a
but
way
it's like
that you can
all just
support
talk
and
about
delve
happy shit all the time.
Figure out a way, all our Dukes and Duchesses out there, figure out a way that you can delve into these issues, research, and figure out how you can support and help out today.
Like close to me in Hyde Park, there's this amazing Palestinian restaurant called Cedars. I love it. The food is absolutely amazing. They literally do fundraisers all the time and give money back to Palestine. And I know a couple people that are Palestinian that post, and we'll put like a list of places that you can support. At the end of this video, I'll just put like a little. But yeah, I just want to shed light on that. That's important as well. Like, everything just can't be sunshine and rainbows. That's why I was talking to Eric the other day. I was like Eric, and I was just inspired. I'm always inspired by Muslims and just Arab people alone. Like, I just love them. And I was like, Eric, would you want to convert to Muslim? Because I love
to Islam.
And I was like,
no,
Eric,
I wouldn't,
do you? I was like, Eric, do you want to? I was like, Eric, do you want to convert to Islam? And what did you say?
I said no, I wouldn't, but I do like and respect some of the traditions.
And I respect some of the traditions as well, which is why, like, you know, because sugars are like the worst thing ever, and especially in our American culture. And I've been detoxing from sugar for a while. And fasting is such a beautiful thing, and it's actually really healthy. Like drinking, like, you don't, like, some people they don't drink water. I've just drank water, and like I'll eat, like, yeah, I love the whole idea of fasting, and I just think the culture is just beautiful, and the religion's beautiful, and everything about those people are beautiful, and I just want to keep them in our hearts. Okay, I'm done.
No doubt. Definitely check out information about fasting to help you cleanse.
It does.
You know, you might get rid of your acne or anything that's going on.
Right.
Fasting can help solve a lot of
health
issues going on in your body. So definitely look into fasting.
Right.
Do some research on fasting. Fasting's
beautiful
definitely
thing. Sea moss, guys. Like, that's another
sea moss
thing.
as well. Look into sea moss for sure.
Yeah, sea moss is a beautiful thing. I'm getting Eric into that.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, well, this is 4, and
this is episode 4. Shout out all my Dukes and Duchesses. Shout out all of our Dukes and Duchesses out there looking at Shout out to all of our viewers, our Dukes and Duchesses out there watching the Dukes and Duchesses podcast. This is Wilhelm Duke, your Swedish-American rapper.
Candice Alise here.
First Lady of the House of Duke. Thank you all for tuning in, tapping in. Check the links in the description. And, yeah, that's all for today.
Ciao,
Signing
ciao,
off.
ciao.
Appreciate y'all coming through.
Thank you.